Okay, thank you for being so patient. I think I'm just leaving everything now the way it is, and I'm gonna be able to see everything. So, here I go. Next, I got these 2 new packs of paper today, and I got some new water paint colors, and I'm going to open them right now. This is Arches watercolor paper, and it's an extra fine cold press paper, 300 grams per square meter, and also 140 pounds. I don't know what that represents, but it weighs a lot when you put a lot of it together. And so, hey Tom, nice to see you. And Jenny Reyes is here, and Valeria is here from Florida. Well, that is fabulous. So I'm opening this paper. It's this Arches watercolor paper. And I've never used this kind of paper before. It's really expensive, but I got it on sale today. Michael's in Canada, where I am located, had a sale on where you could buy one, get one free. So guess how many I bought? More than one. All right, so let's take all the plastic off. There's a little bit more here on the end. Okay. Whew, it's pure cotton. So this paper is 100% cotton paper. It's not made from pulp, and it holds water better than regular. Tom says opening new paper is so satisfying. It is. Shopping for paper also very satisfying. All right, so here I have this great big pad of Arches paper. Oh my gosh, I'm in love. Okay, so I'm gonna take out one sheet carefully. Oh, there it is. One gorgeous sheet. Oh my gosh, is it ever stiff? Very sturdy, firm paper. There's all kinds of words on here. I'm not going to read them. I'm just going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to really just, breathe this in for a minute. It is gorgeous paper. Gorgeous paper. I see Limmy is also in Canada. Nice. Jackie Lynn is in the Panhandle. Jenny Reyes is in the US of A. And the Ketchup Kid Cat 1 2 3 space 4 5 6 7 8 9 lives on the moon. Horrible Wi-Fi connection, no Fortnite. Oh, I don't play Fortnite, so I've answered that question. And this is the other paper that I bought today, which is B paper, also 100% cotton, also 300 GSM. And this one was slightly less expensive, and it's kind of obvious actually just by looking at the sheets that it was less expensive. You can see the colors are I can see the colors are slightly different. The texture is different. The weight of the paper is different. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with this paper. But I don't think I can use the whole thing like this. I'm gonna cut it down to size. So I'm gonna grab my paper cutter, which is just right here. And it's huge. So here I go. Gonna cut the paper. So the whole thing is 10 by 14. So I'm gonna cut these into 5 by 7. So let's go 7 inches this way. And I'll cut that. This is satisfying also, but not if I do it on top of paint tubes. All right. Lining this up at the 7, cutting the paper. Nice. That was satisfying. And now I'm going to cut it down to 5 this way. Does anyone know what gouache is? Me, I do. Does anyone else know what gouache is? That cut. Here we go. All right. That doesn't feel like 5 by 7, but it is. Okay, so here I have now cut. I might as well cut the last piece. This one is a very funny size if I don't cut it. So 7 by 10 would be funny size. Here we go. 5. Okay. Can't see what I'm doing from here. Okay. Now I've got lots of paper. I'll put this cutter away. On your videos, can you do a video of how to draw an eye? Oh, I suppose I could. Yes, I could. So, Valeria, did you want to know what gouache is, or do you have the answer? Were you just testing us? Now. I cut the paper, but I obviously cut it funny. What did I do? This is the other paper, right? Okay, so here we go. This is the arches. This is the arches paper, and this is the bee paper. And we're painting citrus fruit. So we're painting citrus fruit. And I can't help myself. I just keep on saying so. I'm gonna grab my palette. I got a nice big palette here, and I'm gonna mix some colors in it so that I can use these in my painting. And I think I'm gonna use this new paper. I don't know, maybe I'll use them both. I'll just put this one over here for now. And I'm going to use these yellows. I've got lemon yellow and cadmium yellow in this little kit. And I've got, oh, you want an answer from me. Okay, so gouache is, this is gouache. And it's a tube of water-soluble paint that's a bit different than acrylics. So it dries fully, but you can mix it with watercolors. And it's opaque. So this particular gouache is white, and I use it for highlights, and I might even need to use it for the highlights in my art today. But it's often used by watercolorists because it's water-based, and it doesn't dry plasticky the way acrylics do. So acrylics have some plastic acrylic in them. Gouache does not. All right, so now I've got your answer. And here we go. Paper, palette, mixing. Got my water. I'm gonna bring my clean water over here. And I've got some new paint. So I'm probably gonna use at least one of these now. I've got raw sienna, which is kind of a brownish color. Let me just put some of these out on my palette, because they're in tubes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these into some half pans and let them dry. So this was raw sienna, this top one here, and I've also got quinacridone gold. It's a really beautiful orangey yellow, and I'm going to put that here. I think Bob Ross uses oil-based paints. Someone's saying they think Bob Ross uses gouache. I think he uses oil paint, actually. All right, hair is in my face. So I'm gonna fix that. Fix the hair situation with a clip. And now I'm going to mix my colors. So, water. So here I have got the two colors that I just placed on here. One is raw sienna and one is quinacridone gold. And I also have another new color here today, which is burnt umber. So I'm going to put this on here. Maybe I'll use this in some shadows, but I'm not going to put much because I don't think I'm much going to need it. But it'd be fun to try. And now, what other colors will I need? I'm going to need lemon yellow, and I'm going to need probably some orange. Now this is a little bit, it's got some green on it, so I'm going to clean these off and just proof my palette. We talk about proofing our palette, which means cleaning off the paint so that it's the actual color that it's supposed to be. So I've wet it down and I'm just dabbing it off the water so that I can pull out any of the wrong color that's sitting on top of this paint. So this lemon is kind of contaminated with green. It's easy to get your paints contaminated when they're so close to each other in a pan like this, but when you're painting something that's mostly yellow and oranges, you definitely need it clean. All right, so that's lemon yellow, and this is cadmium yellow, and I might need some cadmium red, and the quinacridone gold is over there. And what else for shadow colors in here? Maybe a bit of purple. So I'm going to go with this alizarin crimson over here, which is a purpley. Somehow I just got that covered in orange. This is the day of technical glitches. We're all good now. Man, it was a rough start, wasn't it? All right, where is my purple rag? Here it is. Some fresh paint. Put that on here. And I don't know if I will or I won't need Purple Lake, but I'm going to put a little bit of, I'm just going to wet the purple and the ultramarine, just in case I want some other shadowy colors in there. I might have to mix those to find out. And Lemmy says I'm a good artist. Thank you. I am trying to learn watercolors. I just started using them recently. I've always done sketching and drawing, markers. Those have always been my primary types of mediums, tools. Okay, so let's just let's get these wet a little bit. So here, this was the raw sienna. I'm just going to add a little water in here. So this raw sienna has a bit of a brownish cast to it, and the quinacridone gold is my favorite sort of like toasted sugar color. I don't know, it's really pretty. And then here I've got this burnt umber, and I'm wearing a white shirt. You know, can you see that going wrong? Hi Justine, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping in. I had some technical difficulties at the top of this stream. It just wouldn't launch properly, and I have no idea why. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that my software was going to crash. So, okay. Now, with this picture, I have to look and see where my lightest colors are and put those in first. So, there's a lot of light colors here, and they're on the yellow range. So, I'm allowed to say so right now because I'm going to use it as an adjective, if that makes any sense. I'm just looking at the picture right now. It's on my computer screen. So it's looking like I do need to have some white areas, or super light. I mean, all of those lemons that are faded out have such light colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a really super pale yellow wash on a whole canvas, and then I'm going to work on painting something inside of that. So let's go ahead with the lemon yellow, and I'm going to put so much water in it that you won't hardly even see that it's there. And then I'm just going to wash this over. This is my first time using this Arches paper. I'm about to put watercolors on Arches paper for the first time ever. So I'm washing this lemon yellow. Ah. That is so interesting. It's like it's staying dry, even though I'm putting all kinds of water on it. Soaks it right in. That is so interesting. That is not what I expected, but it is so interesting. So interesting. All right, I lost the chat here because I changed my view. I'm gonna pull it back up. There we go. Thanks, Merrick. I did a so. Hey, Tom K just gave me a super chat. Thank you. I'm gonna buy myself a cup of tea later on today. Maybe even 2. That was so nice. Thank you. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. You're amazing too. That was my very first super chat. Did you know that? Like, you are the very first person to ever donate as a super chat. Do you have any specific questions that you would like to ask me, Tom? Because I am honored and would love to answer your questions. All right, so I've got a nice light wash here now of really pale yellow over the whole thing. So now I'm going to give a really careful look at one of these oranges, or two of them. See those darkest two that are near like the top of the picture? That are, one of them's even cut off and one of them's underneath. I'm going to use those two as my focal point, and they're basically the same color. So that's helpful. It's crazy. So Justine is asking me what watercolors I used and how much do they cost. So these ones are a kit that is Winsor Newton, and it's Cotman brand colors, so it's student grade, and the whole thing has 14 colors, and I think it was $40 Canadian. And then also I've been using Sakura Koi sketch box, and this one has 24 colors, and this one was I think $50 Canadian. But I've been unhappy with some of the aspects of these colors, which is that they're not as transparent as I'd like them to be. So they don't layer in the way that I was hoping they would. And so I picked up some individual, I ordered some Daniel Smith colors and they're on their way. And then I also went shopping today and picked up these few colors from Winsor Newton professional grade. And these range between $13 and $20 per tube for just a 5mm tube. But I got them buy one, get one free. So I bought 4 today and I only got 2 of them free. So I saved $24 by buying 4 of them. And then I have some Cotman student grade or artist grade, but not professional grade watercolors. And these were less. These were like $8 a tube. And the Daniel Smith set that I ordered, when it comes in, it is, I paid $50 for 6 tubes of the essentials, which is basically the it's the primary colors. And Limmy's asking, when did I start drawing? And you know what, honestly, I've always drawn ever since I can remember. So I'm gonna do this top orange here, the one that is at the very top of every other one, and it's cut off at the top. So I'm gonna leave it cut off at the top. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna make the edge of the rind that's going around the edge of this whole orange, and it goes around like this and up. So that's the edge of the rind, and then there's a big space in the middle where there isn't anything, just the white. So now I get to draw all these little triangles of color. So I'm just going to turn my paper so it makes sense. But yeah, I started drawing when I was just a little girl. My mom always loved art, and so she used to encourage me and help me and teach me. She's a really good artist also. And then I've just never really stopped doing art because it's so much fun. But I haven't been painting. This is, like I said before, this is a pretty new thing for me. All right, so I did the little details here. Now I'm going to do the edging. So I'm going to make a triangle here. It comes into the middle and then back out. And I'm leaving a little space around this edge here where the rind is. I didn't leave as big of a space, but I tried. Got distracted chatting with all you lovely people. Jackie Lynn is asked, says she used Arches paper last year and she loved it. Yeah, I can see why. It's like really sturdy. It's warping a little bit though. Did that happen for you? Like I wet it down and it's got this wiggle. Should I have taped it to something, or is it gonna be flat later? Maybe I should. Next time I'll try taping it down. So I'm just painting in these little segments of this delicious orange. I have no idea what went wrong with my stream when I got started today. That was so frustrating because yesterday's it seemed to go not too badly, but it's hit or miss whether I can just get it started. Oh, thanks, Lemmy. I think it's a lovely story. It's a true story, so that makes it even more lovely. All right, so this is so. I'll put this over here to remind myself to say other words. I even thought up other words to use. For example, and, or all right. And I'm sure there's other words I could use instead of so. Can you think of some? Will there be quick painting after I end this one? You know what, Merrick? That was really fun last time, and I might try and do that again. Just looking to see what time it is. 20 to 7. I might have time. Yeah, I might have time to do the quick painting just to see what happens when I don't take my time and to make it look as realistic as it appears before me. So here I'm going along the edge. And here. I'm going to go ahead now and do the other one that's underneath, and I'm going to do the same thing, and then I'm going to add highlights and lowlights on top of what I've already done. So let's see. I'm definitely doing those two main ones, and I'm not going to worry about these other diagonally positioned ones for now. I'm just going to go ahead and place this other large one that's on the bottom. So it comes around here and around here. Will I do that other one on top? Now is the time to decide if I'm going to or not. Just grabbing a little more color. Grabbing a little bit more dark yellow. I'm just pondering here whether I need to leave instead of so, maybe next. Next, I'm going to think about this. Yes, that would work. Just have to remember to say it. All right, so this is the rind of this other orange. Okay, I'm going to put that one in. So let's draw it now. There, and then this one's going to continue in behind. I'm happy with that. Because this other one here I can still put, even though I didn't plan ahead. All right. Yeah, Merrick is right. Saying so is more fun. It's funny. Because I can't seem to help myself. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing I did before, which is make this little center opening inside the orange, like that. Just kind of random curves. And then I'm going to draw in the segments. And these ones under here have a darker edge to start. So what I'm going to do is place the easy ones first, or the ones that are similar yellow color first. And bring that around. Do 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 do. It's like a Ferris wheel. Around we go. And I'm leaving a bit of space in between each one of these. It looks like an orange Mickey Mouse. Yeah, it kind of does look like Mickey Mouse. You're right. So far it does. It could change though. I think as I get more details, you will lose the Mickey Mouse look. And Tom is asking if I watched the Royal Wedding. You know what? I did watch some of it and I was impressed. The cellist, oh my gosh. That young man is an amazing musician. I could not get over what beautiful sounds he was making with that cello. I was blown away. And what a great opportunity for him, right? I mean, so young. I think he's 19 or 18. He's not 20. And he got the opportunity to play live for a royal wedding. That's just amazing. I bet he was nervous. Maybe he wasn't. Okay, so now I'm going to try and get some mixed color in here. I'm putting a bit of water in this little section, and I'm gonna grab just a tiny bit of the next color over and add this in. So now we've got the darker bit on this orange pulp. And then, oh yeah, you agree. I know, it's amazing. And he just sat there like, oh yeah, I do this every day. And she looked beautiful. She always does. And he looked so happy. But life is going to be different for her. I don't think that people who are not royalty really understand what comes with the job until they do it. But, you know, I mean, royalty is not as uppity as it would have been 100 years ago, but I still think they probably have a fair share of rules that the rest of us don't always live by. Okay. Whoop. So Limmy, music teacher, had the same reaction as me. She was like, oh my god, he's so good. She loved the cellist. Yeah, he was remarkable. So I do another job. I bet you guys maybe didn't know this about me, but I'm not just an artist. Clearly. I'm also a piano teacher. That's what I do professionally and full time. And I have another channel that I teach music on. But you didn't know that either, huh? I don't live stream on that one. But I do teach some Skype students that I met, that I encountered, who hired me because of my channel. And that's really fun. Okay, so I've got a bit of darker orange now in this. Let's see here what I'll do. What's kind of fun. Oh, did I say so again? I'm so crazy. What I'm going to do right now is paint the yellow and then just go back over it and with another coat and just put a little bit of this orange in it, streaking. Oh, I like it. That looks really good. Oh, that's too much. Okay. I cracked myself up. Now that all my technical difficulties are better, goodness gracious. That was... Yeah, you definitely need a piano if you're going to learn to play piano. You have to practice every day. I mean, you know, this is why I'm doing watercolors every day. Because I know as a musician and as a music teacher, the only way to improve your skill is to do it every single day. So I decided, not I'm allowed to say so right there because I'm telling you so. So I decided that if I wanted to improve watercolor skills, that I needed to practice every day. And it's really lonely to just sit here by myself every day painting. And I thought it would be fun to live stream. So I'm learning some live streaming skills, or I'm trying to desperately. And it's also giving me company because you guys can chat with me. And so Limmy says, can I teach her? Because she has a grand piano. I'm assuming Limmy is a girl. Looks like a girl picture. And you practice every day. Well, you probably don't need me to teach you because you maybe have a teacher already. And I don't have any more of like actual scheduled times available. I'm full. Painting that I'm doing right now is my spare time. Because, you know, even teachers need to have some spare time. All right. And now I'm just streaking in some darker orange into these segments by layering another color on top. And it's, so what I'm using so far is lemon yellow and cadmium yellow and now cadmium red, just the hint of red. And I find the cadmium red, it's a very cool red. It's very warm red. It's yellowy. It's got an orange cast to it, so it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, I'm sure, but I'm adding more colors to the same, to what I've already done to give it more depth. And I hope I got a new webcam the other day. If it flickers, can you guys tell me? Because the other day, yesterday, the first day that I used it, I had it plugged into a different USB port and it was like flickering off and on a little bit. Something was up. so I change ports, but if it's not fixed by changing the ports, I'm gonna exchange it for a different unit, a model, same one, but different one, because it shouldn't. It was expensive, and apparently it's a good one. Lots of people use it who are vloggers and streamers, and all the important people use this camera. So it should work better than it has been. Better than it did yesterday. Might have just been my cable or my port. Okay, so this is starting to go well. I'm looking at the picture, and I see some really dark red just in here, in behind. Okay, thanks, Tom. Appreciate the feedback. So it might have just been I didn't have it plugged in fully in my, might have not had it plugged in fully in my USB port. So what I've not got here now is some alizarin crimson and a little bit of that cadmium red, but it needs to be darker than this. And I'm trying to see, that's kind of even a purpley color. So I'm gonna clean my brush and grab a little bit of, I guess, Purple Lake. It's probably not the purple that I really wanted. Hiccups, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice to see you. It's okay if you're late. I'm glad you came. It's nice to see some regulars returning again for another go around of my live stream. Encourages me that it's not horrible. If you want to come back for more, it must be okay. All right, so now I'm gonna grab some more of this cadmium red, and it's kind of fun to not let the paint fully mix in the tray, but let it mix on the painting. So, and I'm allowed to say so right there. Gonna just make a little crooked line here where the white stuff is showing, and then I'm gonna fill in what's left with this darker color, and I'm gonna dab a little bit of like purple. Maybe I just need more water. The purple's already on my brush. Just right in there, just to give it some extra depth. That looks pretty good. Can really sink into that orange now. The Quinsters is here. Nice to see you. These skills connect. Lots of people play and paint. My friend is like you, play and paint, and same as Limmy. So I think it is in math too. Music and math and art. Like, I guess it just kind of all sits together. It's all very connected. Very connected. So what about you, Merrick? What do you do of those things? Or of anything, I guess. Far be it for me to suggest that you should do anything particular. I know you watch me on YouTube, and I'm happy about that. Okay, so there's some darkish colors in there, and I see a really dark shadow just down here also in between some other lemons or oranges that are in the background. And then over here, this one's pretty dark also. Get some more water. So I'm just layering these colors on as I go. And seeing what I can do. Let me see here. Hiccups is coming back daily. If I set a time earlier, oh my gosh, it's 2 in the morning. Well, Limmy says it's almost 6 p.m. in Canada, and yes, so it's a whole different time zone here. And I have the next tomorrow's will be later. I'm sorry, Hiccups might have to miss tomorrow's because tomorrow's is going to start an hour from now. So I don't think you'll make it tomorrow. And 11 o'clock at night in England. And Tom's on break. Nice. That's awesome. I'm going to be taking a little trip this summer. I'm going to be actually visiting England for the first time ever. Super excited about that. And now I'm going to try to paint this really small light one that's hardly got any color in it at all. And I don't know if I put enough water in there. Put a little more. If I don't get enough, I won't see it at all. But basically, it's just going to be a shape over here. And then, same idea, just these triangles coming into the middle. in toward the middle, and this one connects fully in the middle. There's no big gap inside this one. This one's probably a lemon. The other ones are probably oranges. This is a really faded lemon, almost like maybe the person who took the picture overexposed it a little bit so that we can't really see the color. Need a little more water here. And super faint, but I can still see it, so that's good. And yeah, lucky me to get to go to England. I've got all kinds of plans of things to see. I want to see the Greenwich Meridian. So, you know, we're always talking about what time it is everywhere. I want to go there where the time is. And I want to see all the things in London. You know, the Tower of London, the Big Ben, the Eye of London, all of the London things. And I want to go to Stonehenge if I get a chance to get a bus tour out that way. I'm not going to be renting a car, so I have to figure out transportation between the places that I'm visiting. But yeah, I've never been overseas, so that'll be my first trip. And I'm planning to do some like painting while I'm over there. Some painting of the sights that I see while I'm there. And Merrick is a bicycle rider, rollers, and good at massage. Nice. And Tom K says, I love it. And yes, I think I answered your question about where. Staying primarily in London. But we're going to go to Paris too while we're there, and Amsterdam. So that will be adventurous. But a bus is taking us to those places. I don't have to drive between them, thankfully. I can imagine here in Canada, we drive on the right-hand side of the road, and I cannot imagine trying to drive on the wrong side of the road. I should really get moderators for my chats so I don't have to worry about it. Well, I could, but so far it's okay. I haven't really needed a moderator, but I have to see the chat in order to communicate with you anyway. So if things were going crazy, I could probably deal with it. Okay, this is looking nicely layered. I'm happy with this so far. Now, I've got 4 of these from the picture showing up now, and then there's like another one sort of hinting off over here. So I think I'll put that lighter colored one just showing right from here. And I've got the top chat showing. Maybe I should have the live chat showing. Maybe that's what you're referring to, but I don't think there's too much going by. Did I say hi to the Quinsters? I think I did. If I didn't, sorry about that. All right. Now, just painting in toward the middle on this one. Okay. I have to just decide now. I caught myself, I almost said so. I have to decide what other colors to put in here. I'm dying to use this quinacridone gold. Let me just see what happens if I put it in here. It's brand new, like I want to use it. See what I can do with it. I'm going to try using it without ever trying it before. Just I'm going to try and put it along these edges here and make some little pulpy streaks with it. That's what I'm doing. That was my decision. Pulpy streaks of quinacridone gold. Such a pretty name to say too. I wouldn't want to spell it all the time though. It's a mixture then. I've got the quin gold and mixed with the lemon yellow and a little bit of cadmium yellow too. This is working. Nice. I can only imagine how great it's going to look when I put a little bit of like highlight on top of this, because this is pretty juicy looking. I'm happy with it. I need more water though. This paper is amazing. Like I'm spoiled already. Hiccup says I should get Discord. Well, actually, that I do have Discord. I'm just not sure how I would manage juggling all of that at once. Too many people talking. It would be cool. I mean, maybe that would be something to learn about for later, I think. Do I think I could do a British accent? Well, let me just practice. I could practice doing a British accent. Let me just think. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Limey. That Harry Potter. Hiccups is offering to set up a server and manage it for me. I will let you know. I'll get back to you on that. Thank you for the ever so kind offer. I'll get back to you on that. Okay, hopefully this quinacridone gold is just the ticket for these little pulp containers. A little bit of water on this. Excellent accent. Well, yes. Oh, well, even the British person thought it was good. You guys are too kind. You're too kind. A spot of tea? Would you like some tea? Please, sir, could I have some more? Oh, see, I can only make a British accent if I'm going to say something I've heard in a movie that's been said in a British accent. Okay, lots of water now, and because I'm going to do the same idea on these little tiny ones that are so faint. Please, sir. That's from the Oliver, the musical, of course. Yeah, I agree, Merrick. I think it's nice and convenient for people who are already on YouTube to just be able to type in what they're saying here, and it's less distracting. Nobody can like shout at you. It's just quiet. I had half a mind to put on some music before I started, but then I didn't. I like to listen to, in fact, we were talking about cello before. I really enjoy strings. And there's a really nice set of violin, Bach double concertos, Bach suite, French suites. Rachel Podger performs them, and they're so beautiful. But I didn't get it ready before I got started, so I didn't get it going. Now, here we go. We're just going to add some shadows down here. We don't know what this is, but it isn't yellow. Okay, so pulling a bit of that color off before it has a chance to sink in, just to give it more depth in behind here. You love Oliver Twist. Well, I thought it was quite a good show. They did it at our local theater. And it was really fabulous. All right. This is coming together nice. Let me check the time. 7:02. Okay, I've got about a half an hour left. I might have time for one of those speed art versions at the end. Yeah, limey. Which way? Lim or lime? Yeah, it would be a mess. Merrick is right. And that's the people who are actually talking now. Because there could be other people who are not talking who could talk. All right. Well, I was saying before, and I think you were here while I was saying, the way you get better at anything is by practicing it a lot every day. You should practice it every day. So I've set aside for myself an hour and a half every day to practice watercolors, and I'm sharing that here on my stream so we can sort of chat while I do it and you keep me company, and you can sort of see what my process is. You can ask me questions if you want to, but it's just honestly, watercolor paint is so strange that it does its own things, and I don't always have control over what it's doing, but it's kind of fun to see what it decides to do itself, like what it actually what happens when you try to do one thing and another thing happens. It's almost like it's alive. It's got its own, it's got a life, a mind of its own. All right, so I did manage to use my, oh, this is not the quinacridone gold. I've managed to use lots of raw sienna. Lots of raw sienna. And I'm going to use some quin gold because I said I would and I want to. But now I'm not sure where. So let me see. You say it lime and then E. Limey. Nice. That makes sense. Oh, that's such a pretty color. Do I have any other hobbies other than art? I do, yes. I enjoy learning languages. So, entonces hablo español ahora. Practiqué por 2 o 3 años y puedo hablar muy bien con la gente y cada semana hablo con mi amiga por 1 hora para practicar hablar español. Because if you don't speak a language, if you don't keep using it, you lose it. So that's one thing that I do is Manor Mistress is gonna go. She's getting tired. Nice to see you. I'll see you again soon. Sorry it's so late. And I'll see you next time. And Merrick says, now I write so slowly because I have a hand injury. That's no fun. Okay, this quin gold. Just gonna put it along the edge here. Just trying to define these a little bit because they're fading back into the distance. And my brush is probably the wrong size for this, but that's okay. Doing it anyway. Doing it anyway. Let me have a good look. Hey, Cody, nice to see you. How's your day? Painting on my new Arches watercolor paper, and I'm using lemon yellow, cadmium red, and a little bit of raw sienna and quinacridone gold with some purple for the shadows, and painting this citrus scene. Now I'm going to put in some whites. I'm just, someone was asking me about gouache earlier. I'm going to use some gouache for highlights. So if you weren't here when the question was answered, gouache is an opaque tint that is water soluble and does not dry plasticky the way acrylic paints do. So just took a little bit of gouache out of my tube. I'm going to use it pretty straight up. I'm just going to grab a smaller brush to do it. This one looks good. And I'm going to water it down a little bit because I don't want it to be super bright. I do remember you, Cody. I'm glad you came back for another stream. 2:07 a.m. That's crazy. So some people are in time zones that are very late and they're complaining that I started late today. Well, they're not complaining. They're commenting that it's hard to stay up to see the whole thing. But I'm happy they're here. And I'm trying to keep track of how many times I say, so, for no apparent reason. Peyton is leaving in a little bit. Maybe. I'll probably not be leaving. Thanks. Well, if you stay, that's great. If you go, we'll miss you. Okay, I got some gouache here, which is just going to give me a little bit of a chance to put some lighter like highlights over what I've already done. And it's a bit more, it's more opaque than watercolors. So if I put it over a dark color, it will put white over the dark. So that gives it more, like over here, I can make some highlights on the edges of these. More water so I can really get a point on this brush. I can make some highlights. I'm just creeping down here so I can really see them along the edges of all of these little pulp bits in my orange. And because I've watered down this gouache, it's going to be just a faint highlight. But if I used it a little bit more pure straight out of the tube, it would be a really white mark on here. It's midnight in Poland. Nice. I don't speak any Polish. So yeah, one of my hobbies is learning languages, and I've been learning Spanish, as I just demonstrated to you my Spanish speaking skills. And I also enjoy sports. So I like to play ultimate frisbee. I enjoy flag football. Sports like those. Volleyball, that's a fun one, especially if it's on the beach somewhere. All right, this is coming along really well. I'm so happy with this. Whoever picked citrus, thanks. It was a good choice. 6:09, 6:10, 5 and 9. Oh, you guys are saying what time it is. Okay, so Peyton must be in like Central Time Zone here in North America. No. Yes. And Limey is probably in Eastern Time. And I'm going till about 1/2 past. So another 20 minutes, and then I have to dash off to the next thing. I'm going to play trivia in a pub tonight. Oh, you like basketball. Nice. Basketball is super fun. It's a lot too much running for me, though, like back and forth, back and forth. I don't mind running. Obviously, I play football and frisbee, but I don't like all of the quick changes. It's exhausting somehow, comparatively. Okay, so now I'm going to get a little bit brighter gouache, and I'm going to really pop up some of these. So brighter, I'm going to make it a little more pure on my brush. So it's like a little, when you see that, it's like a gob of it right on the tip. And I'm just going to tap it in a few places to really bring up the highlights on those little spots. It's going to be like totally white everywhere that I do this. When will my next stream be? My next stream is scheduled for tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's now, tomorrow. At this time of day. No, 1 hour from now. 1 hour from now. So whatever time it is for you right now. In 1 hour, in 25 hours, I will be streaming again. And I'll be painting something in watercolors. But I don't know what yet. I have to wait and see what everyone tells me I'm painting. Because that is kind of fun. That's kind of, you know, you don't, I want to practice, doesn't matter what. And I've usually put out 3 pictures. I don't know if you guys know how to vote for that beforehand, like before I even start to stream, but there's a community page on everybody's YouTube channel, and you can post there. It's kind of like a Facebook or a Twitter. I don't know. It's just like a new improved Google G Plus, whatever that was. Nobody used it. Maybe people use it. I never used it. But yeah, I post a few pictures there and ask people to vote on the one that they would like for me to paint. And Hiccup says I should try digital art. It's really fun. I do some digital art, but you know what? I really enjoy the feeling of using real things in my hands. I do so many things digitally. It's just more pleasing to me sometimes to have a piece of paper and paints, actual paints. But yeah, okay, almost done. Getting there. Some really bright highlights over here. Pull up some whites. And very soon I'm going to do the super fast version of the same painting. What I like about today's painting is it's a completely different color scheme than the others. Let me just grab the pictures that I did yesterday and the day before. So yesterday I did the crane in 2 versions. I did it in the slow drawing methodical version, and then I did it in the really quick splash 10-minute version. And the day before that I did this car And these are, you know, bluish. And then the day before that, Saturday, I did this phone booth, British phone booth, and it's got some blues but red. And now this one is a totally different sort of depth of palette. And yeah, so that's what I got here. Now, here comes the fun. How am I going to do this speed paint draw version? I've got an idea, just not sure yet what, if I'm right about how to do this. Okay, I think it's done. I'm wondering, so what I like to do is like squint at things and then see how they look in comparison. So this one took almost 40 minutes. Okay, so this seems to be my standard, really, 40 minutes. I'm gonna have a look here at what it appears to be looking like from a distance. I feel like there's a lot of dark up here, but there needs to be more dark down there. So I'm just gonna clean the gouache off of my brush, set this one aside. It's a liner brush. I'm gonna grab my number 10. I'm just gonna put a little more dark shadow down here because I think it's not balanced. That should be fixed. And that's the great thing about watercolor, is you can always add more color. You can sometimes take color off too. It's not always as easy to do, but you can always add more later. So I'll do that now. And if anyone has any tips for taking pictures of their artwork, I'd love to have tips on that, because I find sometimes the colors I'm seeing in real life don't look anything like the colors that I'm getting on my photograph. And I don't know why. Sometimes I think there's too much light. Sometimes I think there's not enough light. Not really sure what the deal is there. Yeah, I should have had more time to do this today, shouldn't I? Except silly technical difficulties. Maybe tomorrow everything will go smoothly. Yeah, right. If it does, then I'll maybe I'll get either a fancier picture, or I'll have more I can paint two things. So I'm just adding a little bit of the shadow color into my background, just because why not? This is looking lovely. Limey says it's amazing. Tom says I love it. Thanks, guys. I think I love it too. Every single time I start this, I'm like, okay, today I'm gonna fail. Today's gonna be horrible. I'm gonna hate it. And when I get started, I'm like a little scared because I don't know what's gonna happen. And then in the end, I'm usually pretty happy. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with all this art. Maybe I'll like open a shop and sell my art. Not yet. I don't think I'm there yet. But yeah, so now I think this one's done. I'm gonna sign my name. That's the last thing you should do when you're doing art. Sign your name. Okay, where is my marker? Probably in my pencil case, where it belongs. Yep, there it is. All right. So I'm going to sign it with my name and the year. So I'm just going to put Lisa 18 on here, down in the corner. I always like to put it in the bottom right corner, sort of in the actual painting. And I'm not 18 years old, it's the year. Okay, I'm just going to, let's see. I'll flip this over to my other cam stream. And I think you can still hear me. Yep, everything looks good. I'm just going to hold this up so you can see it in close up. It looks like citrus. I'm a winner. I like the dark shadows in the middle of the oranges, and then I like the way it's really kind of subtle at the back there. Huh. Yay. Limey says you'd 100% buy my art. Oh, that's so sweet. Well, if I ever decide to sell my art, I will definitely make you know where you can buy it. So the citrus picture looked harder to paint than the strawberry. Yeah, I was kind of scared. The blueberries looked really, really hard though because there's so many of them. But okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out another piece of paper. I've got this piece of, this is B paper, and it's a little bit bigger than the last one. Now I'm gonna try in the last 11 minutes to do another version of this with much less time taken. So I'm trying to get faster at art because when I go on vacation, I'm going to want to be able to I don't want to sit there for 3 hours. I want to paint what I'm painting and do it. Not make everybody else wait for me. Everyone else. All right. So now you guys are funny. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing a fast paint now. So first we did the slow paint, now we'll do the fast paint. So I'm trying to get some colors out here that I can just grab from as I go. And, all right, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna paint the shadows first. Am I? No. Big yellow circles. Okay, here we go. Fast paint. Big yellow circles. Filled in with water. It's harder to talk when I'm painting fast. You guys, so hilarious. It's like a bidding war for art that's not for sale. All right, so here I have quinacridone gold. Put that around my edge. I was dying to use it before and I didn't use it. Now, in the middle, I'm gonna have to do those after. Okay, another big circle underneath. Big circle. Filled with water. Being careful not to touch the other one or they'll bleed together. Yeah, but I'm not selling it. That's true. I'm not. Someday I might. Maybe I'll do some kind of giveaway. That would be cool. You get the fast draw version of this orange citrus picture. Fast paint looks more like improvisation. Yeah, it really does have a much more, it's a looser feel for sure. Well, I'm trying, I got 8 minutes. Come on, Lisa, you can do it. Go, Lisa. Go, Lisa. Go, Lisa. All right, so there's the 2 bright ones, and then we've got some lighter colored ones. So let's pop up the light yellow and do a crazy thing here and mix it with white. I just never do that, but for this special situation, I'm gonna mix a bit of white in there. All right, fill that with water. And another one up here, light yellow. All right, now I had some it looks like bubbles right now because I haven't put any details inside. It looks like orange bubbles of water, yellow, orange. Citrus colors. And around we go. Around we go. So the reason that the fast one is easy to do so fast, it's like cheating, right? Because I did it the slow one first, which took a long time, and I had I was careful about my choices, and I took time to think about it, but I've already made those choices now, so when I go to do this quicker one, I don't need to make the choices. I've already decided sort of where everything goes and what color it all needs to be, so that makes it a little bit less like it's not like it's the first time I'm doing it fast. Next time I'll do the fast first and the slow second. I don't know. Maybe I would never bother to do the slow. Okay, got the basics. Now I'm going to drop in those little dark centers, and I used this color here, which was red with purple. I need a lot of pigment on this in order to make it blendy. Darker. I think I tapped a little blue in there too. I did. Yep, that's what I did. Okay. Oh, fast painting is amazing. It's amazing. You guys are so awesome. Yes, less to think, more to do. Okay, so here I go. This is the middle of this one. Just gonna plop that in there. And the middle of this one. And then shadows back here. And here. And here. And all over here. Oops, touched into the orange. It's bleeding. That's okay. That's kind of what makes it a fast paint, right? The edges are less edgy. More impressionistic oranges. And then I do my triangles. I wonder if I have a bigger brush. This is my 10. Let's grab number 12. And let's do something crazy with this. Let's grab some brighter orange. What have I got for time? Woo! 4 minutes. That's not much time at all. And then this, I'm making a mess of my paint. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is just like plop and draw, plop and draw. Okay. So, plop, pull, plop, pull. And then I'm going to go back and fan it out with water. So let's see how that works. Fan it out, fan it out, fan it out. So this would look like it had potential at the beginning. I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to wonder if it's going to work out at all. But let's try the same thing here. Bye-bye, hiccups. Thanks for stopping in. I'll be back tomorrow. Might be too late for you. But if it's not, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, half an hour from now, whatever time that is in your world. Now, water, and turn these into triangles. All right, squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. I talk to myself a lot. Sorry about that. It's not only crazy people that talk to themselves. Sane ones do it too. It is true. So the trick with this fast draw is finding the balance of letting things dry and not letting things dry, because I didn't let things dry up there, but I did down here, and I've got more definition obviously in the spot that was more dry, which is good. So fast but still so precision. Oh, thank you. Now I'm just going to add some shadows back here so that we can actually define where the oranges are ending. So right now I'm just putting water and blending it out, keeping it fairly wet. And I'm going to grab that shadow color and plop it in. So you guys have been really fun to chat with today while I painted my citrus fruits. So this one's definitely far less precise than the other one. What have I got? 1 minute. I don't even know. What can I do in 1 minute? Oh, I know. Here's what I can do. In 1 minute, I can do this. Here we go. Are you ready? Hope I didn't get any on my white shirt. Probably did. What was I thinking? White shirt and watercolors. Couldn't have been thinking much. Backing up here so I don't get it on me again. If I got it on me before. I might not have. Maybe I didn't. Okay, the fast draw is done. So I'm going to show you these up close. Let me just switch screens. All right. Here's the detailed one that took me around 40 minutes to draw, paint. I keep saying draw, but I guess I'm drawing with paint. And this is the quick draw version. I mean, you can still tell what it is, but it's certainly very, very fuzzy, to say the least. All right, well, I'm super glad everybody joined me today. Thanks a lot, Tom, for being a Super Chat sponsor and donating, and thanks to everyone else for joining me today. It was super fun. Look, from a distance, that one looks awesome. From close, it's not so good. There's the nice one. So I'll see you all tomorrow, half an hour from now. Whatever time it is right now in your world, I'll be back in 24 and a half hours to paint some more, and I'm going to post something on the community page to see what everyone would like me to paint tomorrow. Don't forget to click like and subscribe for more doodle draw art, and leave some comments on the replay. I think I'll try and do one of those. I did one for the, I'm talking so fast right now. I did a replay time lapse of yesterday's live stream and just kind of condensed it all down to 1.5 minutes. So I'm going to post one of those. And I hope to see you all back soon. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.